So welcome to our sixth and final session. I hope that this has been illuminating for you, insightful. I hope that you are excited actually about trying some things differently and having some understanding on why you need to try some things differently. I think that you probably already have a sense of how these things flow together, but we're going to cover that today. It'll be a nice recap about lessons that you've kind of learned along the way. And hopefully as we approach it all in one session, it'll be even clearer why each and every piece is really important. So in that first session, we talked about how we get our needs met. And how with some people that can be crazy making, and with other people it can feel safe and connected. I hope that you have a better understanding of how you're showing up in relationships, but I also hope that you have a better understanding of how people may or may not be capable of showing up with us in a healthy way. And then that next step was exploring those narratives, how I feel about myself, how I'm interpreting other people's behaviors and expectations, the things that in the story maybe I'm believing about relationships as a whole. And then we moved into boundaries, which is incredibly powerful and life-altering concept, which is what's okay or not okay for me in a relationship, how to communicate that. My hope is that you had tools to communicate that more effectively. But I also hope that you might even have had some insight on maybe some things that haven't been okay for you, and it's giving you some validation on, no, this isn't okay, or this does feel good to me. And then as we moved into those insights in our own emotional self-care, we can move into acceptance and letting go. The very things that either keep us in something or out of something in ways that don't actually feel that fulfilling to us. And then we move into vulnerability and intimacy. And you can kind of see how this all builds up to this point. It's like if I can figure out all of these other steps, I can do this step more effectively. And that is the hardest step, is showing up more fully and connected in our relationships. That's kind of the goal of all of this, isn't it? But I have to do all of these things along the way to get that in a healthy way. And my hope is to, as you know, we gain insight or we recognize things about ourselves or how we're showing up, or maybe even historical situations we've had in our relationships, that this doesn't become one more thing you feel like crap about. As in, this is one more thing I'm not doing well or doing right. It has nothing to do with that. It is all about process. And process takes time. And if I've been engaging in certain ways in my relationships for as long as I can remember, let's just see this moment as a shift. It's like, okay, I shift, I turn another way, and I start walking in this direction. And it probably will take me time and practice and intention to start making some of these changes. So I don't want you to see this as something you're not doing right or well. It's just setting an invitation. Oh, I can start to think about this differently. I can try this differently. So be kind and gentle and patient with yourself, allowing for changes to take time.